Hello, this is Madiha Masood and you are watching NTV Houston. In the next 30 minutes हम आपको information देंगे जो आपके लिए helpful हो सकती हैं या आपके किसी भी जानने वाले के लिए. My guest today is Houston attorney Tony Vadavan. The Vadavan law firm is one of the few offering pro bono services जो Houston में arrest होने वाले peacefully protesting लोगों के लिए specially help कर रही है. Thank you so much, Tony Vadavan, taking out time for us.
Thank you so much for having me here.
ओके सबसे पहले हमें ये बताइए कि आपने क्यों डिसाइड किया टू वर्क प्रो बोनो फॉर द प्रोटेस्टर्स जो अरेस्ट हो रहे हैं आजकल के सिनेरियो में.
आज के ज़माने में ये बड़ी ज़रूरत है और मैं इसीलिए कहूँगा क्योंकि right now we're being faced with so many injustices that our society needs a little bit of justice served to it. And I want to remind everybody, I am not the only law firm doing this. Okay, there is a collective of us that are doing these together. Okay, there's a lot of law firms that are taking on anybody that was arrested for peacefully protesting. They're taking on these cases pro bono. My law firm is one of them. In fact, in the last hour, we already had 3 more calls. Like we've had 3 more clients come in that were arrested last night for peacefully protesting. We've had way too much injustice go on in our society, in our country right now. We need some justice injected into it. And if us defense attorneys can do that by offering pro bono services to those who are falsely arrested, peacefully protesting is not a crime. We have a First Amendment protection to that. These people shouldn't have been arrested in the first place. And I'll get into that further as we move on with the interview. But overall, that's the reason why myself and several other law firms are doing this, is because we believe in these people's rights. Okay, we're criminal defense attorneys. There's nobody that upholds the Constitution more than us. All right, that is what our job is. That is what it entails. We uphold the Constitution, and these people being arrested is a violation of their constitutional rights. They have a First Amendment protection for this. So if we can help in any way, if we can inject any justice back into our country that has thrown injustices in our face right now, it needs to be done.
ओके वी हैव हर्ड कि आपके अटर्नी बनने के पीछे भी एक स्टोरी है. क्या आप हमसे शेयर करना चाहेंगे कि किस तरह से आप अटर्नी बने और इसके पीछे क्या बैकग्राउंड और स्टोरी थी?
असल में मैंने कभी नहीं सोचा कि मैं क्यों अटर्नी बन रहा हूँ. पापा ने हमेशा कहा, डिबेट्स में मैंने दाखिला दिया, लेकिन फिर भी मैंने कभी सोचा नहीं कि मैं क्यों अटर्नी बनना चाहता हूँ, और वो भी मैं क्रिमिनल डिफेंस अटर्नी क्यों बनना चाहता हूँ. एक बार मैं पिछली बार जब इंटरव्यू दे रहा था, मैं प्रोड्यूसर से बात कर रहा था और प्रोड्यूसर ने kind of मेरी मेमोरी जॉग की. मेरे साथ क्या हुआ था, 1 महीने के 9/11 के बाद मैं ह्यूस्टन वापस आया कैंसस सिटी से. मैं कैंसस सिटी में पढ़ रहा था उस वक्त. तो क्या हुआ, जब मैं वापस आया, मैं अपने दोस्तों के साथ एक रेस्टोरेंट में गया, डेनीज में गया था. हम ए लीफ की तरफ थे. हम वहां से निकले, हम घर जा रहे थे. हम 19 year olds थे उस वक्त. हम क्या करते, सिर्फ घर जाके वीडियो गेम्स खेलने वाले थे. तो मैं एक लाइट पे रुका और मैं लेफ्ट देने वाला था. लाइट स्ट्रेट जाने के लिए ग्रीन हो गई, तो मैंने कहा चलो मैं सीधा जाता हूँ, यू टर्न मारता हूँ और राइट करके उसके घर चला जाता हूँ. एक दोस्त के घर जा रहे थे. जैसे मैंने ऐसे किया, एक कॉप ने मुझे पुल ओवर कर दिया. Within 30 seconds, 4 और बंदे आ गए, 4 और पुलिस ऑफिसर्स आ गए. They shine a light, like a big light, into my car. And you have to remember, I'm 19 years old at this time. हम सब डरे हुए थे. एक 18 year old था, एक 15 year old था हमारे साथ, और 2 और 19 year old थे मेरे साथ. तो हम सब डरे हुए थे. हम कभी नहीं इस पोजीशन में हम कभी पड़े हुए थे. कुछ ऐसे नहीं हुआ था हमारे साथ. So the cop comes up to the car, pulls me out of the car, handcuffs me, and while he's handcuffing me, he sticks a gun to my back. Actually, I'm sorry, no, he didn't come up to the car. When he shined the beam of light in the car, he told me, driver, get out of the car and walk back towards me. So he made me get out of the car, put my hands up like this, and walk backwards towards him. When I got actually to him, he grabbed me, stuck a gun in my back, handcuffed me, and threw me in his car. they proceeded, all the officers that were there proceeded to do that with the other 4 people that I was with. Okay. One of which was 15 years old. तो उन लोगों ने हमको सब handcuff करके गाड़ी में अंदर डाल दिया. And then they started searching my father's car. I had my dad's car that night. Obviously, they didn't find anything. So I asked the cop, finally, eventually, मैंने उससे पूछा कि, देखो मैं बस वीकेंड के लिए आया हूँ अभी, माँ बाप से मिलने के लिए, दोस्तों से मिलने के लिए. मैं कैंसस सिटी में रहता हूँ आजकल क्योंकि मैं वहाँ पर पढ़ाई कर रहा हूँ. अगर आप बुरा ना माने तो आप मुझे बता सकते हैं मैंने क्या गलत किया है, तो मैं आज के बाद ऐसे नहीं करूँगा. उस कॉप ने मुझे मुड़ के देखा और कहा, you didn't do anything wrong. That U-turn just looks suspicious to me. A U-turn looking suspicious does not warrant you sticking guns in the back of 5 little kids' backs, handcuffing all of them, throwing them in the back of a car and scaring the crap out of them. The thing that bothered me the most about it is finally when they had to let us go because they had no reason to hold us. They had no reason to arrest us. They had no reason for any of the actions that they were doing that night. When I was leaving, I wasn't even saying anything to the cop. None of us were disrespectful. We were extremely nice to the officers. Finally, what happened was when we were leaving, the cop took the cuffs off of me, and he looks at me and he goes, "Now get out of here before I change my mind." That still resonates with me till this day because I think to myself, what could we have possibly done that he would change his mind to? We didn't do anything. Okay? And still, after going through all of that, I will say I will still never completely, at least the day and age that we're living in right now, I'm sorry, it needs to be said, I will probably never understand the real fear that our African American brothers and sisters are having right now. And I've had for years. It may not have been as blatant, and everybody may not be able to agree with that actual fear in the past if they didn't want to, but now it's so much in our face. How can you deny it at this point? And so that is something that sparked in me. उस दिन के बाद मैं criminal defense की तरह थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा जाने लग पड़ा और today I'm a criminal defense attorney with my own law practice.
Probably हमने देखा कि जॉर्ज फ्लॉयड की सीन में भी कुछ ऐसा ही हुआ, वो भी यूं ही सस्पिशियस लगा, लेकिन अनफॉर्चुनेटली वो जान से गया. कमिंग बैक टू द इंटरव्यू, इन योर लाइन ऑफ वर्क कितनी डिस्क्रिमिनेशन आप देखते हैं कि ट्रायल्स में होती है?
100%, बहुत होती है. बुरा लगता है कहने के लिए.
Would you like to define more कि किस तरह की discrimination है?
मैं पूरा बताऊंगा. The reason why I say that it's there, and it's definitely there, and you can't get past it, and we fear to talk about it. You're scared to even say the words because you don't want to be looked at as the one in the wrong. But I'm telling the truth. There is a reason why I have been practicing for 12 years, and I can show anybody my docket for the last 12 years, every client I've ever had in the criminal defense world, and you will see a vast majority of them are African American and Black clients. I have a lot of Hispanic clients. I have a lot of white clients. I have a lot of Indian clients. I have a lot of Asian clients. Don't get me wrong. Everybody is getting arrested. But you can see the vast disparity. It's there. Okay. In addition to that, there are several types of hearings that we do that we feel a disparity in. Let's take, for instance, a small hearing that we have. One of the small hearings that we have is called an administrative license revocation hearing. This is what we do for somebody when they're about to lose their license. Now, usually we see this in a DWI case. Somebody gets a driving while intoxicated charge. You also have to apply for their ALR hearing so that you can protect their license. Unfortunately, what happens in these situations is we, the defense attorneys, we're subpoenaing the cops to come and testify. So this is my witness, not the prosecution's witness. But for some reason, if he can't make it, he calls the prosecution. When he needs to remind himself of what happened that evening, he doesn't call me, he calls the prosecution. He gets the incident report from the prosecution. When he gets to the ALR hearing, the officers are all placed in a separate room, and not the defense attorneys who have subpoenaed them there. The prosecution goes in and speaks with all of them, gives them the incident report, explains to them what they need to remember from that night and how they need to give their answers. It is a very disparate situation. This is my witness. Why is he in a private room with that prosecutor? Makes no sense. So these are the types of disparate situations that we see. Is there discrimination? 100%. And the reason why I say there's discrimination is what I said earlier. My docket, and not just mine, any criminal defense attorney, you will see there is a very clear difference between the number of African American clients that you will have over the life of your career versus any other race. It's there. The proof is in the numbers.
ओके आप बता सकते हैं कि किस किस्म के लॉज जो हैं वो हेल्प कर सकते हैं इस किस्म के जो विक्टिम्स हैं, जो जिस तरह के आपका केस है, जैसे जॉर्ज फ्लॉयड का केस है, जो बिल्कुल अनफॉर्चुनेट सिचुएशन में फंस जाते हैं, किस किस्म के लॉज डिफाइन किए गए हैं, आप क्या बताएंगे लोगों को?
ऐसी कोई सिचुएशन नहीं है, ऐसी कोई लॉ नहीं है that makes these illegal arrests, these illegal detentions, ये illegal killings जो हो रहे हैं, there's no law out there that justifies these things. ये हो रहा है क्योंकि ये officers जो हैं, ये लोगों की constitutional rights violate कर रहे हैं. इसमें कोई शक नहीं है. George Floyd की constitutional rights violate completely हुए हैं. Before him being killed, his constitutional rights बिल्कुल violate हुए थे. वो कोई resist नहीं कर रहा था. जब वो, और ये एक चीज मैं पूछना चाहता हूं जो कोई भी नहीं आज तक पूछ रहा है. ये सिर्फ लोग पूछ रहे हैं कि वो उसके नेक से उठा क्यों नहीं, 8 मिनट क्यों उसके नेक पे वो दबा रहा. लेकिन ये पूछो कि आपने उसको हैंडकफ करके जमीन पर क्यों डाला. The reason why cops do this is to control the situation. क्योंकि जब कोई अपने हैंडकफ्स लगा के जमीन पर फेस जमीन की तरफ होता है, in the training that the cops go through, उनको ये बताया जाता है कि जब you put somebody in that situation, they are neutralized. They do not portray a threat anymore. अगर कोई जमीन पर मुंह पे लेटा हुआ होता है और उसके हाथ बांधे हुए अपने पीछे, तो how is he a threat? That neutralizes the threat. तो जब तुमने थ्रेट को न्यूट्रलाइज कर दिया, उसके ऊपर जाने के लिए क्यों तुम गए? उसके नेक पे अपना नी क्यों तुमने डाला? तुमने ये क्यों किया? 8 मिनट छोड़ो, उसको ये काम करना ही नहीं चाहिए था. अगर if let's say George Floyd was portraying a threat, which he was not, there is nothing in the video that shows that Mr. Floyd was portraying any threat. But for argument's sake, let's say he was. You neutralized the threat already. He's on the ground, face down, handcuffed, not moving. और क्या तुम चाहते हो उस बंदे से?
Definitely.
So, ऐसे कोई laws नहीं है that justify what these cops are doing. जो ये cops कर रहे हैं, ये बहुत illegal है. और ये illegal दो तरीके से है. एक, it's illegal according to the law. Or do, it's illegal according to their training. There are other cases we can talk about that have gone through this very similar situation. Eric Garner. Several years ago, the cops were saying that he was illegally selling cigarettes on the side of the road or whatever they were saying he was doing. It was all BS anyways. लेकिन उसके ऊपर जो chokehold उस cop ने किया था, उस वक्त ये chokehold police officers को specifically सिखाया जाता है ना करने के लिए. जब तुम पीछे से किसी को chokehold दे रहे हो, your other side of your elbow is supposed to be on their neck right here. अगर तुमने अपना forearm किसी के neck पे डाल दिया, you will crush their air box here, you will crush their larynx, and they will die. That is exactly what you are taught. This is a fatal chokehold. And that is exactly what that trained officer did to Eric Garner. It's not like this officer that was on George Floyd's neck didn't know what he was doing. Now,
ओके
I don't know because I'm not going to speak for anybody, so I don't know if he had the intent to kill him.
ओके कल के रोज एक बड़ा मार्च हुआ ह्यूस्टन में अप्रॉक्स 200 जो लोग हैं वो अरेस्ट किए गए कल ही के रोज मोस्टली प्रोटेस्टर्स
जी
पर क्या चार्जेस लगते हैं और इनके लिए बेल प्रोसेस क्या होता है
So, जो पीसफुली प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे हैं अब तक जो हमने देखा है मैंने सबसे ज्यादा दो चीज देखे हैं इनके ऊपर जो चार्ज लगे हैं एक obstruction of a roadway which doesn't make any sense क्योंकि the march that was done yesterday was done through the city. That's why the officers are there. वो इनकी मदद कर रहे थे तो सब peaceful रहा कुछ नहीं ऐसे हुआ कल क्योंकि it was a peaceful march. We did it with our city, we did it with our government, we did it with our officers so we could keep a peaceful march. So the people who are peacefully marching, they are getting charged with either obstruction of a roadway. You're obstructing the roadway, गाड़ियां को जानी है यहाँ से this and that. लेकिन तुमने तो रोड को बंद किया रखा है तो हम मार्च यहाँ पर कर सकें. So how can you charge me with obstruction of a roadway? और दूसरी बात, this is what we always see people are being charged with whenever they are videotaping officers doing something illegal. They get charged with interference with public duties. And the reason why an interference with public duties charge won't work here, because an affirmative defense to interference with public duties is if all of your actions are verbal. तो अगर मैं दूर से videotape कर रहा हूँ और ऑफिसर से कह रहा हूँ कि ये देख मत कर, मैं videotape कर रहा हूँ, जो तू कर रहा है वो गलत है. Just like in George Floyd's case, there were several people yelling at the cops saying, "You're killing him, please stop, please stop." इसमें कुछ गलत नहीं है. You're perfectly allowed to do that. हाँ, अगर मैं जाके physically cop को उठाऊं किसी investigation से, या I impede his investigation by physically stopping him from being able to investigate it, then yes, I have committed interference with public duties. But what happens a lot in these situations is these protesters are just videotaping and they're being arrested for interference with public duties. Now, ये मत सोचो कि ये कॉप सोच रहे हैं कि मैं इसको अरेस्ट करूंगा और तब इसको पनिशमेंट मिलेगी. इन कॉप को सब पता है कि ये जो अरेस्ट कर रहे हैं ये फॉल्स अरेस्ट है. नाउ मैं ये भी कहना चाहता हूं कि ये सब कॉप्स ऐसे बुरे नहीं होते हैं और मैं ये पहले भी कह चुका हूं. ऐसे हमारे बहुत इनफैक्ट मैं several cops को जानता हूं. हमारे कई देसी भी cops हैं. Okay? मैं उनको सब जानता हूं and they literally are here to protect us. People need to understand their job is very stressful and very difficult as well. Think about what they're going into. Now, yes, nothing justifies their illegal actions. I'm not saying that. But this is a very stressful situation for them as well. There's 10 of them going into a herd of 100 people. So that can be a stressful situation for them because they don't know what's going to happen. However, that doesn't justify कि वो कुछ illegal करें. वो इसीलिए लोगों को arrest कर रहे हैं और ये सब कुछ so that they can clear the roads.
ओके अब मैं ये जानना चाहती हूँ कि जब मॉब में कुछ मिस्टेक हो जाती है अक्सर जो बेगुनाह हैं वो भी फंस जाते हैं और ऑन द अदर हैंड जो गिल्टी इंसान है वो भी इस सिचुएशन का एज ले सकते हैं. तो बीइंग एन अटॉर्नी आप लोग किस तरह से डिफाइन करते हैं कि किस तरह से किसी की कितनी हेल्प की जा सकती है?
Well, at the end of the day, हमें evidence देखना पड़ता है. Remember, I always tell my clients, और इतना बुरा लगता है ये कहने के लिए, लेकिन हम मजबूर हैं, हमको कहना पड़ता है. It's not what you know, it's what you can prove. तो पहले evidence देखना पड़ता है. Evidence देखने के बाद मैं ये बता सकता हूँ लोगों को कि how good of a chance they have of winning and how good of a chance they have of losing. Now, at the end of the day, हम कोई results कभी नहीं किसी को promise करते. मैं कभी नहीं किसी को कहता हूँ कि हाँ मैं 100% ये dismiss करवा दूंगा तुम्हारे लिए. लेकिन एक बात मैं कहना चाहता हूँ कि जो protesters हैं और जो उनको arrest हो रहे हैं, सब defense attorneys और सब लोगों को ये भी पता होना चाहिए. My office has been in touch with the public defender's office. Okay, the public defender's office is actually down there dealing with all this when these people get arrested. So they're the best people to speak with. They know everything that's going down right when it's happening, right there in the face of it. Couple things are happening that is some good information. These bond and bail funds that people are putting together to help people bail out of jail that are getting arrested for these things, it's a great idea. I'm not saying it's not. But I've had some public defenders that I spoke with tell me that people need to wait and let's see a little bit what's going on, because yes, these people are getting arrested and some of these people are still getting charged. But in some situations, one, either if it's just a peaceful protester and they got arrested and the magistrate sees that, what the public defender's office is seeing that either people are getting PR bonds, which is a personal recognizance bond. That just means that you're let out for free, and the court expects you to come to court when you have to on your own personal recognizance. They're also handing out very low bonds, bonds that are lower than $1,000, sometimes $500 bonds, sometimes 1,000 bonds, depending on what you're charged with and what you did. Okay, and not only that, but that's why the public defender's office is down there. They handle these bonds that are given to people when they're right before they're released from jail. So what'll happen is the public defenders will really come down there and they will help ensure that the bonds are low. Not only that, what they're doing is if they're able to challenge the probable cause, which in a lot of these situations I think they're going to be able to do, the magistrate judges that set these bonds before these people are released from jail, they're actually dismissing some of these cases. So we're seeing a lot of people that are peacefully protesting that are getting arrested, and they are actually having their cases dismissed before they're even released. Now, the people that are looting or committing thefts, committing property damage, assaulting business owners, stealing from, very high-end stores or whatever, I don't understand how that furthers the cause. Maybe somebody can explain it to me, but I don't understand that. Those people that are doing that, what I'm saying doesn't apply to them. They're not having low bonds and they're not just being dismissed or released. We have seen that happening a little more with those who are peacefully protesting. Now, there are some that are peacefully protesting and they're still being charged, they're still getting a bond, and they're having to come back to court and deal with the whole situation. And it's wrong. And that is the reason why myself and several other law firms have given these pro bono services, because literally these people are going to have to fight and pay money to us attorneys for cases that they should have never been arrested for in the first place.
ओके मैं चाहती हूँ कि आप डिटेल में हमें समझाएं कि लॉ क्या बताता है कि जब एक मॉब में एक मॉब प्रोटेस्ट कर रहा है और वो कुछ वायलेंस करते हैं तो क्या एक्शन लिया जाता है कि मतलब किस किस्म की गलती हो जाए तो वो अरेस्ट किए जा सकते हैं. लॉ क्या डिफाइन करता है. कॉप्स की सिचुएशन, वो किसी को सस्पिशियस देखें वो तो अरेस्ट कर लें, ये उनकी चॉइस, लेटर ऑन जाके पता चलेगा कि वो बंदा गिल्टी भी था या नहीं, बट लॉ क्या डिफाइन करता है.
तो कुछ चीजें हैं that keeps it legal and makes it illegal. एक बात, तुम पब्लिक रोड में जा सकते हो, मार्च भी कर सकते हो, लेकिन तुम ट्रैफिक को नहीं रोक सकते. अगर तुम ट्रैफिक को रोकोगे, that's something illegal. लेकिन अगर तुम पहले परमिट लो अपने गवर्नमेंट से, अपने सिटी से परमिट लो कि हम एक ये बड़ा मार्च करेंगे, हम तुम्हारी असिस्टेंस चाहते हैं, दिस एंड दैट, जब तुम एक परमिट लोगे और उनसे लाइसेंस लोगे तो तुम पूरा ऐसे कर सकोगे. इनफैक्ट क्या होगा कि कॉप्स तुम्हारी मदद करेंगे. They will close off streets so that you will be able to properly march with a large group of people. एक और चीज इलीगल हो सकती है कि अगर तुम प्राइवेट प्रॉपर्टी पर गए और जो भी वो प्राइवेट प्रॉपर्टी को ओन करता है वो नहीं चाहते कि तुम वहां पर आओ, तब ट्रेसपैसिंग होता है, तो हम वो भी नहीं कर सकते. And obviously I don't even have to say it, लेकिन अगर तुम किसी के दुकान पे कुछ ब्रिक बैंक हो या कुछ तोड़ो या कोई प्रॉपर्टी डैमेज करो, किसी बिजनेस ओनर को मारो या उसको जान से मारो या कुछ ऐसे, ये चीजें obviously illegal हैं. You will be arrested for these things as well. Now there is something about called inciting a riot. Okay, that's not what anybody was doing here though. I want that to be understood. But inciting a riot, वो भी एक चीज होती है कि तुम लोगों से ऐसे बात कर रहे हो स्ट्रीट पे और उनको ऐसे एक्साइट कर रहे हो कि वो कुछ गलत करें. Okay, ये भी एक तरीका है, वो तुम्हें अरेस्ट कर सकते हैं। लेकिन इसके सिवा ये हमारा फ्रीडम ऑफ स्पीच है। तुम हमें कुछ नहीं कह सकते कि हम कुछ कह नहीं सकते। अगर मैं बाहर जाके ये कहूं कि ब्लैक लाइव्स मैटर, कोई मुझे मार नहीं सकता
नहीं
या
सकता।
अरेस्ट नहीं कर सकता है
यस।
इसके लिए। अगर मैं भी ऑन द अदर साइड ऑफ दैट हूं और मैं कहूं कि ऑल लाइव्स मैटर, I can't be arrested for this is my free speech. अगर हम बाहर जाके पुलिस को कहें कि ये गलत है, तुमने जॉर्ज फ्लॉयड को जैसे तुमने ये किया है, तुमने उसको मारा है, ये मर्डर है, गवर्नमेंट हमारी कुछ करो इसके बारे में, you cannot be arrested for that. This is all free speech. और मुझे पता है ये सवाल क्यों पूछा जा रहा है, क्योंकि लोगों को समझ में नहीं आ रहा कि अगर इन बंदों ने कुछ गलत किया नहीं है तो उनको अरेस्ट क्यों किया जा रहा है।
डेफिनेटली।
My answer to this is they are illegally being arrested.
ओके। साथ ही साथ हमें ये भी थोड़ा डिफाइन कर दीजिए कि एडल्ट्स और माइनर्स के लिए क्या सेम प्रोसेस होता है, लॉ इस बारे में क्या बताता है, और क्या मेल और फीमेल इनके लिए भी सेम ही है या डिफरेंट होता है प्रोसेस?
मेल और फीमेल में वो कोई कुछ नहीं कर सकते, डिफरेंस नहीं हो सकता। जो एक मेल बंदे ने किया हो, if his past crimes, like, because when they're setting bonds and stuff like that, they look at people's criminal history. वो देखते हैं कि इन लोगों ने अपनी you know पूरे जिंदगी में इन लोगों ने क्या किया है, कोई कुछ बुरा ऐसे फिर से किया है, what is their criminal history, and that's how they set bonds. So they don't make a difference between औरतें या मर्दों के बीच में कुछ ऐसे नहीं होता। हाँ, adults and बच्चों में there is a फर्क, और मुझे तो आजकल बच्चों के लिए ज्यादा फिक्र पड़ी हुई है adults से। adults तो कल रात को ये अगर सपोज कोई बंदा है वो नाराज हो गया, ब्रिक उसने फेंक दिया, कुछ कर दिया, व्हाटएवर, अगर अडल्ट हो वो जज के सामने जाएगा, जज उसको बॉन्ड देगा और वो बॉन्ड बढ़ के बाहर आ जाएगा। लेकिन अगर जुवेनाइल होता है एंड कोई उसको एग्रीवेटेड क्रिमिनल चार्ज मिल जाए, या इट डजंट इवन हैव टू बी एग्रीवेटेड एनीमोर, many cases में वो, because there's no bond given in juvenile cases. They are either released to their parents or they're held in custody. And in a very large percentage of cases that I have seen, because I do a lot of juvenile work, these poor kids, even if it's their first time committing an offense, can sit in jail for 10 days, sit in custody for 10 days before being released. And sometimes it can be months. I cannot tell you how horrible that is. Most of these kids are first-time offenders. What do you think is going to happen to somebody, to a little child, when he's done one thing wrong in his whole life and we're locking him up for 10 days? It's actually a lot more difficult to get a juvenile that has been arrested by the cops out of juvenile detention than it is to get adults out of adult detention. Okay. It's ridiculous the way our juvenile system is moving that way.
आप क्या बता सकते हैं कि कितना वक्त लगता है अगर कोई अरेस्ट हो जाता है लाइक इसी तरह के किसी मॉब और प्रोटेस्ट में, तो कितना वक्त लग सकता है उसकी बेल प्रोसेस में और उसको बाहर आने में?
So it depends on what they're charged with. If they're charged with a misdemeanor, they have to be brought in front of a magistrate and given a bail, a bond amount, within 48 hours of their arrest. If it is a felony, it has to be done within 72 hours of their arrest. So within 72 hours you charge me with a felony, I have not been taken in front of a magistrate and given a bond, or if the magistrate wants to give me no bond, that's fine too, but I just haven't seen a magistrate, they have to release me on my personal recognizance, and then they can later on send me paperwork telling me when I need to appear in court for the charge or whatever. But it's 48 hours for misdemeanors and 72 for felonies.
Okay, my last question for you. What legal advice do you have for all the protesters?
Legal advice. This is what bothers me. I've talked about this before. My father came to this country with his wife and his 4-year-old daughter, didn't have a lot in his pocket, worked very hard, went to college here, got his engineering degree from University of Minnesota, did well for himself, whatever he could, and put me through law school. And he parlayed his son into an attorney. My dad worked very hard in his life to make sure his son became an attorney, for my dreams to come true and his dreams to come true. when you become an attorney, you vow to uphold the Constitution. My dad worked very hard to put me in a position where I had to take an oath and a vow one day to uphold the Constitution. I've said this before. It bothers me that I have to tell my father, that my 72-year-old father, that if a officer of the law is attempting to violate your constitutional rights, I should be able to tell him that you should stand up for your rights. You should be able to look at the officer and say, "Officer, I respect your authority. However, you're violating my constitutional rights right now. I know my rights. You're not allowed to do that." I can't tell my father to do that right now. George Floyd was not doing anything wrong. He didn't commit any law violations. He was being cooperative. He was already neutralized and portrayed no threat, and the cop killed him. This has happened to an elderly Indian man who's younger than my father. I can't remember right now exactly which state it was in, but all he was doing was visiting his son in this country, walking up and down the street in front of his son's home. Now, it was impossible for the police in this country to believe that an older gentleman was trying to be mobile in his elderly age so that he could stay healthy. They slammed him to the ground and killed him. So it's very hard for me to give legal advice to these protesters, because real legal advice could cause these protesters to be assaulted, arrested, or even worse, killed. There was a protester in Dallas, young kid, probably in 19, 20, 21 years old. This was just yesterday. He was videotaping, that's all. And he was videotaping everything that was going on from afar. He wasn't even near everything. One of the cops decided to shoot him with one of those rubber packets that they have, hit the kid in the face. The kid now has to have emergency surgery, have metal plates placed in his face to repair his broken and shattered cheekbone. Now, what legal advice do I give that kid? Do I tell him, "Hey, it's perfectly legal for you to go out and videotape this. जाओ जाके videotape करो. तुम्हें कोई फिक्र नहीं करने की जरूरत है. तुम जो कर रहे हो वो बिल्कुल लीगल है." मैं उसको ये लीगल एडवाइस कैसे दूं? इसीलिए लीगल एडवाइस आजकल देने में बड़ी डिफिकल्ट काम हो गया है.
Definitely.
आजकल लीगल एडवाइस नहीं दिया जाता है, प्रैक्टिकल एडवाइस दिया जाता है. तो मैं कई प्रोटेस्टर्स को कहूंगा कि तुम्हें ये रिस्क लेना पड़ेगा. तुम वहां पर जाओगे, रिस्क होगा कि तुम अरेस्टेड हो जाओ. There could be risks that you get assaulted by an officer. There could be risks that you get assaulted by another protester. Because there are some protesters that are taking advantage of these protests.
Definitely they are.
They're getting out other frustrations that they have with the system in a way that will not further the cause. And listen, even though as somebody who's not an African American, I will never completely understand that frustration, I have been through some things in my life as a brown man in this country. I have seen what my clients have gone through being a black man in this country. So I do understand that frustration. And it worries me so much. I have 2 sons myself. This is what they're growing up in. Okay? This is what they're growing up in. I don't know if everybody remembers what it was like after 9/11. After 9/11, when people that were my skin color did something to this country, it was a very, very bad world for us at that time. And that is why I can feel for, maybe not completely understand it, but I can still feel for and empathize with our African American brothers and sisters, because there is clear racism and bigotry against them. Now, it's not everybody in the world. It's not all cops. By far, it's not. But when you're seeing it in these massive situations, it's happening repeatedly. It's happening over and over again. And it's happening in a majority of cases with African American people African American women and children and men, it's hard to be like, oh no, that's not racism. It's hard to try to look for something else. I'm a very practical person. Trust me, I want to believe that it's not that, right? So prove me wrong. Please, please, somebody explain to me that it's something else. Everything that I've said today, if I'm wrong about something, I am totally willing to admit it. If somebody can explain to me properly why I was wrong and why it's something else. Our country is in a very, very, very vulnerable situation right now. You know, COVID's not helping the situation either. लेकिन illegal advice आजकल देने में it's very difficult. मैं उनको practical advice दूंगा. मैं ये कहूँगा, how much do you believe in this cause? How much do you want to see something changed? Because with change comes great sacrifice. There are people in the 60s and the 50s and the 70s that made great sacrifices so that we can enjoy our constitutional rights today. Segregation was a real thing in this country. Remember that. And there were people that supported it. And then later on, they figured out, no, wait, well, we were supporting the wrong thing. This is wrong. So just because our situation is the way it is right now does not mean it's right.
Yeah.
Its supporters one day will be कहेंगे कि नहीं हम गलत थे. जैसे 60s में कहा गया कि नहीं हम गलत थे, अब भी कहा जाएगा. फ्यूचर में लोग देखेंगे और कहेंगे कि हाँ हम गलत थे.
गलत किया, ठीक.
तो मैं यही कहूँगा कि it depends on how much this cause means to you. क्योंकि कुछ चीजें तुम्हें sacrifice करनी होंगी.
Definitely.
You have the risk of being arrested. You have the risk of having a criminal charge on your record for the rest of your life. But is changing things, does it mean that much to you to go through those risks? And there are a lot of people that understand these risks, but it means so much to them that they're still there. You think those 60,000 people that were out there yesterday, unko pata nahi tha कि कुछ उनको हो सकता है? उनको बिल्कुल पता था. लेकिन ये cause जो है उनको इतना passionate लगता है कि वो फिर भी गए. उन लोगों ने फिर भी कहा नहीं हमें change चाहिए. हमारे बच्चों के लिए हम ये change करेंगे. हमारे future के लिए हम ये change करके दिखाएंगे. And you have to respect that.
Okay, thank you so much, Tony Adhawan, for your precious time. और आपका बहुत-बहुत शुक्रिया NTV की तरफ से भी और हमारे viewers की तरफ से.
Thank you very much for having me. बहुत शुक्रिया for having me. मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा. मुझे हमेशा अच्छा लगता है इस शो में. तो जब भी आप बुलाएंगे हम जरूर आएंगे.
Definitely. Thank you once again. And I hope कि प्रोटेस्ट में जितने भी लोग इफेक्ट हुए हैं, जो अरेस्ट हुए और उनके फ्रेंड्स और उनकी फैमिली, उन सब लोगों के लिए जो अटर्नी ने अभी जो टोनी अधावन ने जो सजेशंस दिए हैं, एडवाइसेस दिए हैं, वो आप लोगों के लिए बहुत ही हेल्पफुल रहे होंगे. That's all from now. For more updates, follow us on Facebook and Twitter and keep watching NTV Houston.